What a lovely orchid. My sons loved orchids. We used to grow them in the back. When John died, I laid orchids on his grave. Oh, you know how to do these little dogs, too. My children loved origami. I taught them how to do it. John loved the little dogs. He always wanted to call them Max. Max, Max, Max. All dogs with the same name. I was wasting my time telling him they couldn't all have the same name. But he always wanted his paper dogs Max. It's funny, isn't it?
Are these your children, Mrs. Shepherd? John and his brother? Is that them?
They're good little boys. Their father never looked after them, always drinking. They didn't have an easy life, you know. I cried when they told me. I'd already lost one of my children, and now they were taking away another one, you understand.
The foster family, Mrs. Shepherd. What was the name of the foster family that adopted John's brother?
They were really very nice people. I met them, you know. In the beginning, I used to go and see my little boy. And then I got sick and I couldn't go any longer. Perhaps he thought I'd forgotten him. He must have thought I didn't love him anymore.
His name, Mrs. Shepherd. What was his name?
But I loved him. If you only knew how much I missed him.
Please, Anne. His name. What was his name?
Come closer.
We've only got a few more hours left to save Sean Mars. There has to be a goddamn clue somewhere. It's probably staring me in the face. This kid's gonna die, and I'm going around in circles!
All packed up and ready to go?
What are you talking about?
The investigation's over. We know who did it. We no longer need your services anymore, Norman. So you can ride your files all the way back to Washington. I'd be lying if I said I was gonna miss you.
The investigation isn't over. You have absolutely nothing on Mars.
Mars is guilty. Case closed. Anyway, it's no concern of yours now. You're off the case. So pack up and fuck off.
Blake, you are an unbalanced, psychopathic asshole.
I'll take that as a compliment. Honestly, I don't give a shit what you think. I found the origami killer. Everyone's happy. End of story. Have a nice trip back, Norman.
The killer's name is here. Somewhere in this data. I just have to find it. Find it before it's too late.
Oh, one last thing, sir. You should be careful not to overindulge in you-know-what. It can be dangerous. Very dangerous. It'll end up killing you if you're not careful. That would be most unfortunate, sir.
Two receipts from the same gas station. Might be near the killer's home. The killer lives in this zone. 342 people live around there. Not good enough. Gotta find a means of identifying the killer more precisely. That doesn't get us anywhere. Ari was in record mode when I was fighting with the killer. Perhaps there's something on it.
Okay. Ah, there we go.
Gold watch. I'm sure I've seen this before somewhere. The watch they give for promotions to lieutenant. The killer is a cop. The sword was already in Paco's office. It's got nothing to do with the killer.
It's hard to read for me, sorry. There.
Looks like the killer is a cop. Carter Blake! That would explain the dead-end investigation and his desire to frame Ethan Mars. A cop. There's only one cop in that geoprofiling zone. Gotcha. He owns a warehouse on the docks. If I'm wrong, Sean Mars is dead.
Let me stay with you, Scott. I don't want to go.
Look, it'll only take
It's
a couple
another
of days.
rendering cutscene, sorry.
Long enough to get this resolved.
I can't just wait while you confront my son's killer.
It's the only way, Lauren. Trust me. Now go stay with your mother for a few days, and I'll come and get you when this is all over.
Tell me who the origami killer is. I want to know who killed my son.
Listen, when I'm done, I'll tell you everything I know. I promise.
At this point I was a little bit shocked. To be honest. I think all the people in the chat are asleep. Or they're shocked too right now.
Hang on, John! I'll get help. Just hang on. Go on, hurry. I think the water's rising. I'm hurrying. I'll be right back. Mom's work is too far away. I'd never make it in time. Hold on, bro. I'll find someone. Then we'll come back and save you. Gotta find someone. The water's still rising. John won't be able to hang on for long. Need to get help fast. John's gonna drown. John's gonna drown. Dad, I've gotta get Dad. He's the only one who can save John. Gotta move. Dad, it's John. He fell into a pipe. He's
Get out of
drowning.
here, you little pest. Leave me
You gotta
alone.
come, Dad. Come on, John's gonna die. John's gonna
Well,
die.
that'll be one less greedy mouth to feed, won't it? Go away.
Please, Dad, I'm begging you. John's gonna die. John's gonna
What
die,
did I tell
Dad.
you? Scrap!
Please, Dad. You've got to save John. I tried, John. I really tried. But he wouldn't come. Please don't die, John. Please.